On Your Side tonight with Jamie Bowl starts now. It's the moment many have been waiting for since March.
This pandemic ends when our communities have good immunity, good, strong immunity to this virus.
We're on your side tonight with the vaccine experts' advice. Plus, you don't need to break the bank this holiday season.
Sit down and have real conversations with what Christmas needs to look like this year.
We have advice from a financial expert, but first,
we aren't putting these orders out there in order to get anybody in trouble. We're putting them out there to save lives.
Thank you for joining us tonight. If you're at home right now watching us, it's not likely you'll go out tonight at all, simply because it might not be worth it. Last call is in less than 2 hours. Starting tonight until January 8th, North Carolina is under a new modified stay-at-home order. The order means you have to stay at home between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. Most businesses must close by 10, and alcohol sales must stop at 9 o'clock.
I think it's pretty clear that the later in the evening you go, the larger some of these gatherings can be at some of these businesses. People become more uninhibited, and people get closer together, and can be more opportunities to spread the virus. And what we're trying to do is to chip away at those times to slow the spread of the virus by trying to avoid these indoor gatherings that we see. And this stay-at-home order after 10 tells people they just really need to go home. They don't need to be gathering in other people's homes. They don't need to be gathering at other places or any of these retail establishments. They need to be home because they're safer at home, and you're slowing down the spread of the virus.
The curfew is a compromise. We don't want another lockdown, but cases are going up. Local businesses are struggling to stay open, but we know at the same time, people are dying. It's the ultimate catch-22 situation. Today, the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services reported more than 7,500 new cases. More than 5,700 people total have died because of the virus here in the Tar Heel State since the beginning of the pandemic. For 2 weeks straight now, we've seen record-high hospitalizations because of the virus. In an email statement sent out today, Health Secretary Dr. Mandy Cohen said in part, "We are now seeing the impact of Thanksgiving gatherings. Do not wait until it is you or your loved one sick or alone in the hospital. Wear a mask, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often." Let's look at the demographics here. According to the State Health Department, it is mostly young people who are testing positive. The majority of people testing positive for the virus are still between the ages of 18 and 49. And 25 to 49-year-olds make up almost half of the positive cases across the state. So this is the state's COVID-19 county alert map that we've got up now. It shows how much the virus is spreading to the state. This is a look at our area. You see the 13 counties there in red and orange. That means critical level of spread if you see one in red. This graph shows Mecklenburg County in orange, but today we actually learned from Health Director Gibby Harris that we're actually supposed to be in the red. You can see how the map compares to just a few weeks ago, November 17th, when just 3 counties were in the red zone.
We aren't putting these orders out there in order to get anybody in trouble. We're putting them out there to save lives. And people need to realize that these things are scientifically proven to help slow the spread of the virus, and we need to get it done.
So like I said, curfew is a compromise because ultimately local businesses will be impacted the most. Earlier this week, we spoke to Jeff Tony Dandel. He owns a few different restaurants here in Charlotte, a couple of which are in the NODA community. He told me that restaurants will definitely take a hit because of this new curfew.
It's a big impact on us. We're in NODA. It's a fun, vibrant place. A lot of young people go to hang out there. People, usually staying out a little bit later. So, yeah, I think it's gonna impact us a lot.
Tony Dandel says he's not surprised by the governor's tightened restrictions, and he understands the decision. He notes that running businesses during the pandemic has been a challenge, and he says his employees are working less hours and making less money.
They're all struggling. They're all scraping by. They're doing the best they can. We're in a really tough spot where it's not a profitable environment.
Some people I talked to Tuesday night agreed with the governor's order.
I think it's a good idea. Maybe to hold this corona down.
Whatever gets people healthy, right? Like just do it for a little bit and then hopefully we'll figure this all out.
But others disagree. Savannah Martinez says she works in the restaurant industry.
I mean, I think there's a little bit of it that's good and bad both ways, but I think some of the restrictions are just too much for the citizens of this country and too much for people who are just trying to make an honest living.
Tony Dandel says he'll keep adjusting to the new rules, but he's calling on the government to dole out financial assistance to businesses impacted by the restrictions.
We just hope that there's some sort of support. If you're going to close restaurants down, then have some support on the back end.
And it's not just restaurants and bars that will be impacted. Businesses that began to thrive because of the pandemic won't be as successful with a curfew. Take Hounds Drive-In in Kings Mountain, for example. This place has been able to continue operating throughout the pandemic. They have so much room for social distancing, as you can see here in the pictures. Business has actually been booming for them.
Hosted tons of graduations that begin the summer. I've done church services. We've played movies. We've had concerts. We have comedy acts. We've had it all. And it's been very good. You know, we were able to social distance by keeping people spread apart.
Now, people will still be able to go to the drive-in for movies. They just won't be able to stay there as late with a curfew. But some of the other events that were going to be happening on the property are now in jeopardy.
It appears there is going to be, some events that we're not going to be able to move forward with. And unfortunately, that's just, there's just no way around it at this moment. I do not agree with the decision of the governor, but as a business owner, I must respect that decision and I must follow the rules and abide the law, and I will.
Now we're on your side tonight with a light at the end of the tunnel. The vaccine. Doctors and health experts agree a vaccine is the fastest and safest way to end this pandemic. Yesterday's news of the FDA endorsement of the Pfizer vaccine has brought excitement across the scientific community. It comes following months of groundbreaking research on what it takes to actually fight off the virus. Dr. Christine Turley is the vice chair of vaccine research at Atrium Health Levine Children's Hospital. As one of our faces of COVID, Dr. Turley is one of the leading local experts on the validity and safety of a vaccine before it actually goes in your arm. She spoke with Jamie about the journey to get to this point and why she is confident this vaccine is the key to brighter days ahead.
If this pandemic was happening 30, 40 years ago, we would be years away from a vaccine. So we're building on 70 years worth of very advanced development of vaccines that have become more and more sophisticated. I think the whole scientific community and clinicians, clinical investigators, we're super excited because it's very unusual to see such strong responses so readily. The people working on these studies have been really incredibly vigilant about the safety issues and incredibly vigilant about setting up the rules, if you will, for those studies before anything was even tested or ready to be in the field. And those are some of the reasons why I feel so confident in this data picture. Those benefits of decreasing the illness to such a high level are so strong that we shouldn't delay. There's enough safety information right now to take that first step. From what we know today, it doesn't look like there are safety signals that we're worried about. No one wants a safety problem with these vaccines. No one does. Everybody's afraid of that too. I mean, everybody who's developing these vaccines, we don't want that either because we know that those would be things that would delay the community accepting a later vaccine. So we're all really putting so much scrutiny on this because we understand how important it is for people to be confident in this. And for these steps to be really strong ones. I think based on what I know now, I would take those vaccines myself. I would. And we'll see. We'll see if there's anything else that comes as a surprise out of those VRBAC meetings. I don't think there is, because I think that it's being looked at so closely. So the story's not yet finished. And I think there's a level of uncertainty that is part of this year of 2020, and I think it's going to be with us while COVID still rages on across the world. We have to be patient with that. We have to accept some of the unknowns. It's not easy to accept those on some level, everybody in this pandemic has decisions to make for themselves about how to be safest, how to be protecting themselves and their family, and what their values are. So everybody has that as their own personal decision making, and it is a personal choice. This pandemic ends when our communities have good immunity, good strong immunity to this virus. The safest way to get that is with a vaccine. So a vaccine is a game changer for all of us. And I think that's why we want to encourage people to get educated now, so that when it is your turn, you're ready. You know what you want to do. So that is the way for all of us to get to the future we're looking for. Nobody wants to go backwards. We want to go forward, and we want to go forward to that healthy space again.
Dr. Turley wanted to emphasize why this vaccine has been made in record time. It's not because of cutting corners, but instead the scientific community has made this a top priority. Any man-made delay that would cost weeks and months has been trimmed because of the urgency to end this pandemic. Now our series, The Faces of COVID, continues next week. Diana Tejada is an ICU nurse with Novant Health. She is one of our frontline workers who sees the reality of the virus firsthand. She told us what it's like treating COVID patients in an ICU that is now full to capacity.
It's very, very sad right now in the unit. Most of the COVID patients stay there for weeks. So that's the thing, their turnover isn't like very high. It's not like they come to the ICU and then like 2 days later they're out. No, they're intubated, prone, sedated, on a bunch of medications for weeks.
Wow. You'll hear how Diana and other nurses are adapting to these surges in hospitals. Our series, The Faces of COVID, continues next week right here during On Your Side Tonight at 7:30. Coming up next.
You talk about what you want to spend, who you want to buy for, and you stick to your list.
You guys asked good questions about budgeting. We took those questions to an expert. Plus, amid the pandemic, the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation is facing an unprecedented increase in demand for donations this holiday season. How you can help support children who are in need. Welcome back. In tonight's Good Question, we're asking, how can you save money during your holiday shopping this year? A lot of budgets are tight, and many of us are doing our online shopping. So how can we be smart and savvy with our money? Jamie asked financial expert Mark Henry. He has tips for people who are looking to save some cash.
Let's talk about the holiday shopping season. Obviously, very different 2020. What have you seen? What should we expect this year?
Well, you know, it's been trending this way for a long time, and we've talked about it many times where people have talked about online shopping and Cyber Monday. But it's not Cyber Monday, it's Cyber December, because a record number of people are going to do 90% or more of their entire Christmas shopping online. But that doesn't change the rules. I suggest that you go and you make a list. You talk about what you want to spend, who you want to buy for, and you stick to your list. You can do, you go to the mall and you do window shopping and you end up with more than you thought. Well, that same thing can happen online.
Just give folks at home some tips, some advice. How can we save a little bit of money this time of year?
All right. So stay on track, and the list is the great way. Think about when you go to the grocery store. When I'm sent to the grocery store without the list, I get everything I shouldn't and nothing that was on the list that I was supposed to get. So you have to use a list when it comes to shopping. If it has been a particularly hard year for you, let's think about alternative gifts. Let's think about doing it differently. Or maybe when you're thinking about for the grandkids, maybe it's time to fund the 529 instead of buying, a small item for the grandchild plus a contribution to the 529 before the end of the year. That might be the way to do it.
So a lot of folks are in that tough decision-making process. How do I get through this? What should I be planning for? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, well, and especially right now at the holiday season. So, when you think about planning for Christmas, but yet you're one of those 12 million plus people that's been affected by COVID and you're currently unemployed, I found honesty in everything in life, but especially here is going to be the best policy. Sit down and have real conversations with what Christmas needs to look like this year, what the holiday season needs to look like. Let's talk to them in real honest thoughts about, hey, this is the way it's going to look. This is how it needs to look. We can't make this situation worse by going farther in debt if that's who you are and you're affected by this right now.
Bills will come due,
Yeah, they will.
at some point. That's the hard part about it. Let's say by some miraculous event here, Congress comes to some sort of agreement, and maybe there's a stimulus check that comes your way, that sort of thing. How do you prioritize how to use that money?
Well, that's a great question, actually, because let's say you do get a stimulus check. Let's use an amount that's been talked about in Congress of $1,200. So, all right, we got this $1,200. Now we can go buy Christmas and do that. Is that really the best use if we're still unemployed? Or let's say we work in the hospitality industry. While a lot of things are going to reopen with the vaccines and things like that coming soon, I still think it's going to be personally, I think it's going to be a while. So maybe that $1,200 check in this example would still be the honesty is the best policy on Christmas, and we use that toward debt or toward emergency fund. What if it's going to take longer than we think to go back to work? That $1,200 may be very important.
Big thanks to Mr. Henry for speaking with us. We're on your side tonight with a plea for help from Toys for Tots. Marines and volunteers are having a hard time making this holiday season special for families who are in need. We reached out to the local Toys for Tots chapter in Charlotte. And to put it in perspective for you, this time last year they had about 100,000 toy donations. This year they only have about a quarter of that. The way that Toys for Tots works is families struggling financially apply, and the Marines-run organization helps them fill their stockings. This year there are several thousand families on the waiting list. With so many out of work during the economic downturn, our WBTV Washington News Bureau reporter Alana Austin shows us how Toys for Tots is tasked with delivering gifts to even more kids this year.
Each Christmas, the Marine Toys for Tots Foundation puts smiles on millions of children's faces. But this year is especially challenging amid the pandemic, as Marines and volunteers in some communities see a large increase in the need for gifts while donations are down.
We thought we were going to have to turn families away to even receive one toy. And the amount that the community has come out over the last 2 weeks and put their heart and soul has just been incredible.
The request for toys in the Roanoke Valley is 6 times higher than last year. Captain Alex Coffey says the community and donors have stepped up so each child on their Christmas list can open at least 3 toys.
Their parents are out of work, or their houses are being foreclosed on. There's not going to be other toys.
Despite all the challenges, Commandant for the Marine Corps League here, Michael Shepard, says all these hours at Santa's workshop are worth it.
It can get rather emotional for a lot of us. You have people in tears.
Retired Colonel Ted Sylvester says you cannot underestimate the Marines' resolve to accomplishing any mission.
96 cents of every donated dollar goes into buying toys and putting them in the hands of children. So, as an organization, as a program run by the Marine Corps, who knows how to do more with less than Marines, right?
And if you'd like to make a donation through a gift or cash, please visit toysfortots.org to find out how you can make an impact in your local community. In Washington, I'm Alana Austin.
The deadline to turn these gifts varies from center to center. The deadline for Charlotte was today because they're putting the donations under a 3-day quarantine. But you can still make a donation online, which will help the foundation complete payment on gifts they have to pay off through January. We're going to put all of this information on our website, WBTV.com. Just head over to the Web Extras section and look for this story. What do you think about this? Let us know. Use the hashtag OYST tonight on Twitter or email askjamie@WBTV.com. Coming up next, the pandemic has definitely changed a lot of things about normal life, some temporary, some permanent. We take a look at some staples in our homes that date back to past epidemics. Welcome back. We're on your side tonight with 3 things to know about your home. Everyday features that we don't pay second thought to originated or were popularized because of previous pandemics or outbreaks. Interesting, right? Like think about the 1918 flu, tuberculosis, and dysentery. Architectural Digest recently put a list together of the home designs impacted by previous epidemics. We have 3 things to know about that. Thing 1 is closets. According to the article, before the 20th century, most clothes and accessories were kept in armoires. That's why some older homes or apartments don't have closets, or they're very small. It wasn't until the 1920s that closets became more popular because they're easier to clean and they collect less dust. Thing 2 is sleeping porches. Think of a large Victorian house with a 2nd-story balcony.
These became popular during the tuberculosis epidemic of the late 19th and early 20th century. They're also known as cure porches. Sunlight and fresh air were the recommended remedies for tuberculosis. A lot of small mountain towns started building homes with cure porches to attract people who needed a place to stay and recover during that epidemic. Thing 3 is powder rooms or half baths. This is now a common fixture in new homes and even apartments, but they didn't become popular until the early 20th century. The thought was to put them on the ground floor of a house near the front door in order to prevent the spread of disease. So when your milkman, iceman, or daily cold delivery came by, they would have a place to wash their hands. Very, very interesting. Do you recognize, do you recognize any of those common features in your home? Just let us know. Use the hashtag OYST Tonight on Twitter or email askjamie@wbtv.com. You can always watch more of our stories by going to wbtv.com/tonight. We post our videos there right after each broadcast. Very easy to access, and if you don't have time to watch the full newscast, you can always go back and watch particular segments. So as always, thank you for watching On Your Side Tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you have a great evening, and be sure to continue watching WBTV for updates on all of our top stories.